Hello friends, today we're going to talk about React Native application that I made, and I'm going to present you how to use React Native applications and what is the use state hook and how to use these variables and what is going on in React Native, especially for the beginners. So stay tuned for that. Okay. So how should we start to examine this? Okay, let's start with our app.js. Okay. So this is the my application's interface. It's basic like addition, subtract, division, and multiply, like the basic math. In addition, it gives us two random numbers and it wants us to write a result. So what is the result? Like 1048, right? Yeah, true answer. What if we got wrong? Like something like this. Our health goes down by 1 point if you make a mistake. So what is the result? 8, 5, 12. Let's say this. Yeah, it's wrong answer. So the truth one, 8 is the last one, 9, 4, and 12. Yeah, we got score. And if you got empty, and it says invalid empty input. So it's like this. And also the other alternatives like subtraction, division, and multiply. It's the basic, right? Okay, let's start to diving the application. So we have basic app.js. So when we set up the React Native application, first it gives us to the app.js and the other files. Actually, this is like TSX, the TypeScript file. I converted to JS because I don't know the TypeScript, unfortunately. It's not necessary. JavaScript is the native. I'll continue on that. So what is our packages? First, we just examine that. We have React Native navigation to navigate to other screens. React Native Classic, Save Area Context screens. It's like required dependencies for React Native navigation and stack, and not other spatial alternatives like Axios for fetching web data. So in app.js, I call to create stack navigator to call the stack navigator and screen to define our screens. It's like necessary, and we have to wrap our entire app with navigation container that returns, and it's called in index.js as the register component, app name, and the app. It's a default app. That's why we call in there. It's like the main screen. So we have header shown is false. So what if we don't say it's false? Like we say it's true. Then what happens? Let's see. Look, it says the main menu, process menu. It gives us like back button, other stuff, but I don't find it really attractive and make it more natural. It's better actually to define custom components maybe. So okay, let's start with the screens. So it's the name like main menu. So when I navigate to other screens, I use this name. For example, where is the main menu? Maybe like process menu, navigation not navigate. So that's why we call like this. Okay, and this is the component where it goes to navigate. The process menu. We import it to screens. So in the main destination, we got source folder. Inside of the source folder, we got components folder and screens folder. We have button. We have two menus. It's like the main menu. So since our app.js, when we start, has the first screen name called main menu, it's the beginning part. When we refresh our app, or when it pops up the first time, it executes the main menu first. But what if we switch the parts? No, not this. Yeah, like this. So let's see what happens next. Oh, unfortunately, I accidentally opened PyCharm. Sorry. Let's close it real quick. And yeah. Oops. Let's refresh again. Yeah, it's like our application, unfortunately. But it should be worked. We have the special issue. Yeah, because our process menu requires this process. So when we don't have the main menu, we can't go to navigate from main menu to process menu. So it can find this process here. But what if we comment this to see it like it works? Okay, now it should work. Okay, let me try again. Okay, refresh the app. Yeah, see? But we don't have this plus, X, other stuff because it's coming from main menu. We send it. We call the button, and in button, we are navigating the process menu from these tags, these buttons, and other stuff, okay? Yeah, that's why it should start with main menu. Now I think it should be very clear to understand. All right. So refresh again, close the Python, PyCharm. Yeah, sure, exit. So we have main menu and our component. So when I press Alt, sorry, Control and main menu, yeah, it shows us the main menu component inside of the screens folder. In main menu, we have, this is called props, like properties. We can say root also. This too is the special, predefined in React Native. So navigation lets us navigate through other screens that is called inside of the stack screen. We have two screens, so we can navigate to the main menu and process menu and other menus. We also have a root in process menu. And inside there, we have a component called view. In the for web developing in HTML, it's similar as div, and in Android, I'm not familiar, I'm not sure, but it should be like UI view or text view. I don't know, something like this, because the React Native is cross development platform. It should convert to the iOS and Android at the same time. Cross platform, sorry. So we have view, it's like the component, and we have style attribute, like HTML and CSS. It's like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript combined. If you combine three of them, it should be like React Native. And also, React Native is a JavaScript library that lets us to develop cross-platform mobile applications. And in style, we define style sheet. We call style sheet from React Native, and we just call the style sheet.create. That gives us these objects, so we can use it inside of this styles component. So it's the styles component. It's an object. Inside of this object, we called container. So the style value gets the styles.container value. And container, we set flex1. Flex means like fill up all the screen. So background color is FFF, right? So if I set instead of this red like this, see? But what if I say flex is like 0.5? Is it takes the half of the screen? Let's see. Yes, it's true. But what if we delete this? Yeah, we have to say flex to 1 for best practice. And here we say it like hex code FFF. If you say 000, it's black. FFF, it's white, like hex codes. Okay, so it's more clear right now. It's our parent and it's her child. It's a child component, it's his parent, it's child, and it has also another 2 childs, and it has 4 childs, like this. So the parents contain all of childs, right? So we can think about like this. So this is the main view, and it includes like one child, its view. And this view contains one text and another view, two child. And other view has four button, its child. For this button, its his parent is view. And what is his this view's parent is the another view, not text. Text doesn't have any child, but it has parent view because it contains text. So that's why we call it his parent. The text's parent is the view, and his parent is the view. Like think about the outside, okay? This is how we examine and understand the main CSS and the styling in React Native. So we say top wrapper. If you have a bottom wrapper, we can just add another view here like that. And we say like style equals styles dot bottom wrapper. Something like this. Not two. Oh, that's great actually. Oh, we have that actually, but I don't define anything. I forget my own code. Yeah, we have another view. It's a bottom wrapper. Okay, I can, if I add text in there, let's say, hello my neighbors. Oops, sorry. Like this. Yeah, these are different. So bottom wrapper is the flex one. So what if you say background color to green? See, it like slices the screen to the two field. So if we said flex is the one, flex one fills the screen. But what if we say flex one and the flex one? The main view takes all its space because of the container, like flex one. And the top wrapper, the main view has two childs, right? This view and the other view. Bottom wrapper and top wrapper. And they also have the flex one, both of them. What if we delete the bottom wrappers? Yeah, it's now the content like this. If we say flex one, it takes the equal space. Alright, let's move on. Hello my neighbors. Great. So let's say that I want to add another style. It's called styles.text. Bottom text or bottom title. We have to define this in here. Bottom title object, and what it should have, maybe color, it's like blue, and font size maybe like 24, and align self, we have to want to center. It overrides the align items. We will talk about it later in advanced stuff. Now it's like centered. But what if we want to center this text? So if we want to center this text, we have to go his parents, like above component in view. It's called bottom wrapper. In bottom wrapper, we have to say flex direction. It's like defaulting column. We don't have to mention that. But justify content to center. It centers in the screen like this from X scene. We have X and Y, right? So justify contents takes the main axis. It aligns to the main axis actually, if we set flex direction to column in default. But what if we say flex direction to row? So now if I comment it there, now it works the opposite. It aligns to the X, not this Y. Why? Because justify content center is related to main axis, and align items is related to the secondary axis, and this is the main axis. So since main axis is row, it's defined to the row like X. It centers in the X. we have to say column. Now it acts like the first main axis is the column. So it centers in the main axis. See? In the Y side. What if we want them both? Then we said align, not align content, align items should be center. Now it's aligned in X and Y. The default flex direction is columned, so whether if you want to, if you don't mention as a row, we don't have to specify as a column because it's default in column, right? So we have our text like this in bottom wrapper. Okay, it's like the bonus part. We don't actually need this. Like bottom title, I have to delete this so it makes this clear. If I edit like credits or something later, I I'll edit, but right now we have navigation, root, prop. So instead of navigation, actually we have just like root props in there. Then we take this navigation like this inside of the props. It's like object destructuring. It also works like that. Let's see if it works. Yeah, still navigate to the other screen. But in order to make things clear, we don't have to specify like props. We're just taking inside of these props data to navigation. We only want to see navigation, not props. So we have navigation, okay? And the top wrapper. Yeah, we also things like this. It's title. We have title. It's like main menu as we see on the screen. And we have 4 buttons. This is the custom component. It takes navigation as a prop, text like addition, background color like this. And when we press this, it navigates these screens. So what is this button? When it comes from? We click control and button. It takes 3 props as we said. Text, background color and navigation. So what it returns us? It returns like main view. Instead of view, we can say react.fragment there, but they're the same actually. Touchable opacity, it's like button. When we press the button, it navigates to the process menu and the text as a process. Okay, it's like the advanced stuff. It takes process as a text. Okay, and we have 2 styles, so that's why we should add inside of this curly brackets. Not curly, it's like parentheses. Yeah, sorry. We have styles.button and also background color to background color. So we have these styles combined, right? We have button, which is default, not default background color actually. Interesting. And we take background color in there. And text as a process text and touchable opacity. And text is also coming from the other, like we mentioned in the main menu, like addition, subtract, division, multiply, yellow, red, aqua, green. So it's we call process menu, right? This is the screen. Like if you say division or if you say multiply, addition, actually they are the same. The only thing that's changed is this icon and the result. It actually do this basic mathematics that we mentioned. In touchable opacity, when we press these buttons, it navigates to process menu, and also it sends from root component process object as a value as text, right? So, okay, it navigates to process menu and it sends to process property, and the value is text parameter. So it's coming from root prop. We take from root.params this process, this one, okay? And the process is this addition, subtract, division, multiply. This process value is this. When we press addition, it sends the text as we see here. This is the text prop, says addition, and button sends this text. So this is the addition, subtraction, division, like we see in there. Okay, let's take this. So we defined these use states. Use state means It's like the state management in React Native that controls the numbers. The first variable is the so inside of use state we have this default value. This default value is assigned to the first num, second num, first variable. Second variable is responsible for changing the first variable's value. Like we set first num like 45. Now the first num is 45 like this. When we change this value, we use the second one. It's a little bit complicated, but I have to mention in general. So we have these, okay? Like this is default values, like 5 is the default health and score is the default. When we change the score like increment, we said like set score is score plus 1. Score plus 1, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a basic algorithmic thinking, like basic algorithms. And we have use effect. Use effect is like um, after the page is rendering, then use effect hooks called and it does this job. And this is dependency array. After each success change, this use effect is called. What is our default values that we see like 811 73? It's like the math floor math random 1000. It gives us a random value between 0 and 1000. It's our first number, it's our second number. So in division and subtraction, the first num should be bigger than the second num, right? We should subtract the big than the small. It should be like this. Or num1 is like math floor and num2 another is like random things. And we take this switch case structure. What is switch case structure? It's like if else, but if we have more than like 2 and 3 stuff, we should use switch case instead of if else. So we can say like we can also use like this, like if like process is equal to like 3 equal to the addition, then do this, else if it is like subtract, do this, then else if blah blah, something like this. It's like wasting our time. Instead of we set takes the process like addition subtraction. If the case is addition, then do this break. If it's subtract, do this division multiply. And if it's nothing, or we don't say nothing because we defined our values actually. We can't add the other values randomly. We have 4 cases, so there is no reason to define the default value. If it's an addition, then we have no problem. If number 1 bigger and equals to number 2, it's like the I forget the operator. Sorry, my B12 level is low right now, so I forget some things generally. If it's addition, we set the symbol to plus and set result to addition. We add 2 of them, we set the result, and then we check the result. It works like this in new state. And it's subtract. Okay, we have a special case in there. If the num1 is bigger than num2, we set first one to num1, the second one num2. If it's the opposite one, we set first number to num2, second number to num1. So our first number is always bigger than second number in subtract because we cannot subtract the lower one to the bigger one. It always like this. The first one should always bigger than the second one. Also division, but in addition, it's okay, no problem. The first one could be lower than the second one. Uh, it always change like this. We set this and we set the symbol, and the result is like if the other one is lower than the second one, we take max absolute to take the absolute value. So if let's say we subtract 50 minus 100, it's like negative 50, but we still take as a 50, like the opposite, because of the absolute value. And to fix 0 is like we only get before the comma, like 143 comma 54, we only get 143, right? Not the after comma. It's like unnecessary decimals. It's like division. Yeah, they are the same. Num1 divide by num2 to take fixed is like it's if it's divided full, like not the others. Multiply. In multiply, I just changed my values to the 0 to 100 because it's really complicated to multiply numbers between 100 to 1000. It's really hard. Like I cannot multiply like 40, 455 to 686. It's too complicated to solve this. Even if you're writing or in your head, it doesn't make sense. So in the process, it's I console log the input and result to check if it's work, and we take the input. So what is the input? We see what is the input. Input dot trim. Okay, input is like our text input in there. When we write results, it takes this input, and when we input the trim, trim means like remove the white space. So if I create a space like this and write something, it still works. It removes the white space to the beginning and after, something like this, okay? And we check if the length is bigger than 0. So if I said nothing, it said invalid empty input in here, right? Alert invalid empty input. If the length is not bigger than 0, it's actually 0 because of the else. And if it's bigger than 0, check if the score is divided by 5. Like, is it the times by 5 correctly? And if it's divided by 5, like 5, 10, 15, 20, each 5, we just add set health to health plus 1. We add 1 health for each 5 correct score. That means this. It's like the AND operator boolean, and if the first one is correct, then the second one gets executed, means. And our input, if our input is equal to the result, we set true answer. Otherwise, we set wrong answer. And if it's true answer, we set success, the opposite of the success, like true, false, and we set score plus 1. And if it's not correct, we decrease our health by 1 point. And then it's finished, we set input to null. Like when I get the wrong answer and input becomes null, right? Then it's the return, like when we see what we see on the screen. We have container, and of course it says a flex1, background color FFF, align item center to center on the state. What if I delete this? See, if it looks like this. We have to center them. Then we have inside of that we have 2, 3, 4 child. It like allocates each of them. It divides the 4th screen. This view contains all screen and it shares to the 4 of them. Not equal. We define if it's equal or not. If we say flex 1 4 of them, yeah, it's equal. But what if I say like flex 4, flex 5, or flex 0.5 or something like this? It's not work. So we have top wrapper. So top 20 means we have to bring the space from top to 20. Let's remove this. Yeah, see? If I say top 20, it brings the space from top to top wrapper. Inside of top wrapper, let me just take this. We have 2 text, health and score, and the value is our use state variable that I said earlier. We have health input. See, this is the values like 4 and 0 here, and background color red, background color green. They have both styles. Only the difference is their mm, background colors. The others, all of them is the same. And we have the process wrapper. Process wrapper, flex direction row. What is contains like first number, symbol, and second number. Oh, this part. So we have process wrapper, flex direction row. So we don't align in the column. Like we want them to do row. What if we say column? Then it goes from top to the bottom like this. If I say row, let's align them to the row. Justify content align item center means center them. Margin top 90, it brings us this space to 90. This process wrapper contains these three text values, and we have text input, which is there. We state styles.input. What does input do? Margin top 50, bring space 50. Border width 1 is the border width. Padding 10. Padding means bring the space inside of the border. If we bring the space inside of the border, it's padding. If we say margin, outside of the border. What if I say padding to 20? See, it gives like 20 space and 50 to the outside of the border. But 10 is the like good and seems really good for me. Border color is the border color. Border radius is like the radius. If I delete this, it will be a square or triangle like this. Yeah, we just make it like smooth edges. And width is 60%. If I say it like 100%, it contains all the X data. I just removed the limited to the 60% on the screen complete and input. So let's continue. We have value input on change text. We get input and we set input to the input. So when I write something, it takes as an input and set input. So set input is updating our input value, as I mentioned from the beginning. These are the updating the values to the first one. Set input takes the data and gives this to input value. So our input is changed, so our value is changed. Okay, and we have submit button, and when we press this, it calls the process function. And the process function is this. If it's not bigger than 0, it says invalid input if we don't write any input, and if it's not, it checks if the score is the times of 5 to set health +1, and if the input is equal to result, it says true answer and set score to +1. If it's not the wrong answer, it says set health to -1. Then yeah, that's all actually. Are there anything that I don't mentioned? Yeah, it works like this. The other ones also, like division, they are still the same. We only set the symbol to plus to other ones, whether it's subtract, division, multiply, addition, and we set the result, and when we write the result, it checks if it's our result is equal to the input, like in the process, and the input value is what we type in there, like this. And the result is we set result. If it's addition, we add two of them. If it's subtract, we subtract the first one to second one. If it's division, again we divide the first one to the second one. It's multiply, we just multiply two of them to set result, and we check if the result is equal to our input. If it's true, we increase our score. If it's not true, we decrease our health, and we update our input like this and check the input if it's equal to result. yeah, this is the all that I mentioned in this video. This is my first video, so I may get excited. I have no clue what I'm talking about. It's just random freestyle talking. I don't have any presentation before. I don't read any scripts. I just like try to explain. I actually did this project like 2 months ago. It takes like 2 days actually, to be honest. But yeah, actually it's good that I expected. I know this like too bad because 2 months ago I just started the work at a company and now I generally and usually better than this code. Now I just write really really good code. It's like not good because we have to separate these to the functions. It's not look clean. You may notice. So don't take it this seriously. I'm just trying to explain. This is the old project. There is no like solid principles or anything is applied in there. But in later videos, we'll see more applications that I made, and I try my best to explain as clean and as good as possible. So sorry for if I don't speak very well and correct, because I haven't practiced a while. So see you later, guys.